The courage to begin, small steps toward big dreams in an educational style. Key notes. 1. Understanding the power of beginning, why the first step, no matter how small, matters more than waiting for the perfect moment. 2. Small steps create momentum, how consistent, small efforts build discipline, confidence, and long-term success. 3. Transforming dreams into achievable goals, turning big visions into structured, realistic actions that move us closer to our dreams. Understanding the power of beginning. Every great achievement in human history started the same way, with a single, often uncertain, beginning. Whether it was the creation of groundbreaking inventions, the building of nations, or the pursuit of knowledge, nothing came into existence without the courage to take the first step. Yet, for many of us, the most difficult part of any journey is not the middle or even the end, but the very beginning. We hesitate, overthink, and wait for the perfect time to start. But the truth is that beginnings themselves hold immense power. To understand this power, we must first acknowledge that beginnings are never perfect. They are not polished, nor are they meant to be flawless. Instead, they are seeds, tiny, fragile, and often messy. But within these seeds lies the potential for growth beyond what we can imagine. Think of a student opening the first page of a textbook, an artist sketching the first line on a blank canvas, or a dreamer writing the first sentence of a plan. Each small beginning contains the spark of possibility that, when nurtured, grows into something much larger. Without that spark, the dream remains just a thought, untested and unrealized. What stops us from beginning is often fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of inadequacy. We imagine that others are watching us, ready to criticize our attempts. We convince ourselves that we must wait until conditions are ideal, more money, more time, more knowledge, or more courage. But perfection is an illusion. The conditions will never be flawless. If we wait until everything is just right, we may never begin at all. History is full of examples of ordinary individuals who dared to start with less than perfect circumstances, and it was precisely their willingness to start, not their initial resources, that made the difference. Beginning is also a form of education. The first step teaches lessons that no book, lecture, or theory can provide. For instance, a pharmacy student can read about patient counseling techniques endlessly, but until they begin practicing, speaking with patients, making small mistakes, and improving, they cannot truly master the skill. Similarly, an aspiring entrepreneur may dream of running a business, but it is only after starting, even in a small way, that they begin to understand real challenges such as customer needs, financial management, and adaptability. The beginning itself becomes the classroom, offering lessons that are practical and irreplaceable. Another important truth about beginnings is that they create momentum. Imagine trying to push a heavy cart. At first, it feels nearly impossible to move, but with one push, then another, the cart begins to roll. Soon, the effort feels lighter, and progress becomes smoother. Our dreams work the same way. Small steps create momentum. When we think about big dreams, whether it is excelling in education, starting a business, or making a difference in the community, we often imagine a giant leap that transforms everything overnight. We picture dramatic changes, sudden success, or instant recognition. But real progress rarely happens that way. More often, it is the result of small, consistent steps that gradually build momentum. Just like water droplets can carve valleys into stone over centuries, our small efforts have the power to create lasting change when practiced with patience and persistence. To understand why small steps matter, we must first recognize how human psychology works. The mind can be overwhelmed by the idea of a huge task. For example, a student preparing for a final exam may feel crushed by the thought of studying an entire year's worth of material in 1 week. The task seems too large, and this sense of being overwhelmed can lead to procrastination. However, breaking that same goal into smaller, manageable steps, such as reviewing one chapter each day, makes it not only achievable but also less stressful. The brain responds better to gradual progress, because each small success signals achievement and fuels motivation for the next step. Momentum works like a chain reaction. A small step, once taken, sets off the next. Consider the simple act of reading a few pages of a book each day. At first, it may not seem like much, but after weeks and months, those few pages add up to entire books read, knowledge gained, and perspectives broadened. Similarly, walking for 10 minutes daily may appear insignificant compared to a marathon. But over time, that habit strengthens the body, boosts endurance, and can eventually prepare a person to run longer distances. The lesson is clear: consistency in small actions generates compounding results, and those results build momentum toward larger achievements. One powerful example comes from the world of skill development. Imagine someone who wants to become fluent in a new language. If they dedicate just 15 minutes a day to practicing vocabulary or speaking, the progress may feel slow in the beginning. But after a year, they will have invested over 90 hours of practice, far more than someone who waited for the perfect time to commit long study sessions. These small, daily steps create a rhythm, and with rhythm comes momentum, which propels the learner forward. In education, teachers often emphasize the importance of regular study habits instead of cramming at the last minute. The same principle applies to life. Small steps not only build knowledge but also strengthen discipline. Every time we follow through on a small action, we train ourselves to be consistent. Over time, this consistency becomes part of our identity. Transforming dreams into achievable goals. Every human being carries dreams within their heart, visions of what life could become if only the right opportunities and actions align. Dreams inspire us, give us hope, and fuel our imagination. But dreams, if left vague and distant, can remain nothing more than beautiful illusions. The difference between a dreamer and an achiever lies in the ability to transform those dreams into concrete, achievable goals. This transformation is not a matter of luck, it is a matter of planning, discipline, and action. The first step in this transformation is clarity. A dream becomes achievable only when it is clearly defined. For instance, saying, "I want to be successful," is inspiring but too broad. What does success mean? Academic excellence, financial stability, professional recognition, or personal growth? Without clarity, the dream floats without direction, and it is difficult to take meaningful steps toward it. A student who says, "I want to score a distinction in my final exams," or an aspiring entrepreneur who says, "I want to launch a small pharmacy within my community in the next 2 years," has already begun turning a dream into a goal, because they have given it shape and focus. The next step is breaking the dream into smaller, measurable parts. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, but dividing them into manageable goals makes them realistic. For example, if someone dreams of running a full marathon, they cannot begin by running 42 kilometers in a single day. Instead, they start by jogging short distances, gradually increasing stamina and endurance. Similarly, if a student dreams of excelling in their field, they must divide the dream into smaller targets, completing assignments on time, reviewing notes regularly, practicing past exam papers, and seeking mentorship. Each small goal achieved adds up to the realization of the bigger vision. Another essential factor is time management. A dream without a timeline is like a ship without a compass. Deadlines create urgency and accountability. Saying, "I will start saving money someday," rarely produces results. But saying, "I will save a specific amount every month for the next year," turns the dream into a structured, measurable plan. Setting deadlines may feel challenging, but it pushes us to act instead of postponing endlessly. Equally important is adaptability. Dreams are rarely achieved in a straight line. Unexpected challenges arise: financial struggles, academic setbacks, personal difficulties, but these do not mean the dream is unattainable. Instead, they require adjustment. Just as a traveler might change routes when the main road is blocked, achievers modify their strategies while keeping the ultimate vision alive. Adaptability ensures resilience, allowing us to remain focused on the dream. Conclusion: the courage to begin, step by step. We have seen that every great journey begins with a single step, that small, consistent actions create unstoppable momentum, and that dreams are transformed into reality only when we shape them into clear, achievable goals. These are not just ideas for inspiration, they are principles for education, growth, and life itself. The courage to begin is the seed. The discipline of small steps is the water that nurtures the seed. And the transformation of dreams into goals is the sunlight that allows it to grow into something greater than we ever imagined. So, let us remember, it is not perfection that builds success, but persistence. It is not giant leaps that carry us forward, but the quiet strength of daily effort. And it is not vague hopes that shape our future, but well-defined goals backed by action. As you move forward in your own journey, whether in studies, career, or personal life, do not wait for the perfect moment. Begin now. Take small steps. Shape your dreams into goals. For in doing so, you will not only walk the path of success but also inspire others to find the courage to begin their own. The future belongs to those who dare to start, stay consistent, and never stop transforming vision into action. Let that future belong to you.